to him from the causeway end. Outside edge, a fine delivery. Keith Fletcher at first slip, taking the catch. Fletcher had missed one earlier in the innings, and a great relief for him and for Allen, not the wicket-keeper, that he snapped that one up. The second delivery from Willis in his first over of the day. So a fine performance from England to break through in that way, just what they needed. You can see here again a great delivery from Willis, slanting in at Walters, then cutting away, finding the outside edge, and Fletcher's hands cupping around it.
He's hit that one, it's going down, it could be caught. No, just wide. Old almost got to it, he's right underneath us here. And a dive by Old to his left-hand side. Well, he had a crack at that one and almost got it down onto his stumps. It was wide of the off stump, but the ball pitched outside the off stump, going away. But we're waiting now as Old lines up and ready to go. He'll be bowling to Marsh. And Marsh onto that one properly, down to the long on to the boundary. That's 4 all the way. Well, that's the first authentic Rod Marsh stroke we've seen. He did play a hook shot earlier that was almost a chance, but he got onto that one properly. And pulled brilliantly by Marsh. Magnificent shot. Well, that was a great shot by Marsh. Along the ground all the way, and it's going right across that long fence. And Marsh has taken 2 fours in this over. He goes on to 20. Marsh 20, Ross Edwards 96, 5 for 390. 42 added this morning in about 52 minutes. And he'll get a run again. Edwards 99. He may go for the second. He's going. No. And well, she didn't. Beautiful return from Titmus. Ross Edwards 99. Now the situation is ready here for cricket history in the making, with Ross Edwards on 99. And no Western Australian has scored a test century on this ground. And Chris Old is the bowler. And that is not it. They're going. Yes, it is. A shot that stumps at the far end. He's through. That's the 100.
Out to mid-wicket, beats the nest. Run 1. And we'll get 2. And here's another good throw by England from the outfield by Mike Dennis. Nice shot out through point, being chased by Lloyd, and Titmus is moving around the boundary. The batsman crossing for 2. It's going to be touch and go, and Titmus can't cut it off. It's 4 runs. Arnold bowling his 7th over of the day to Ross Edwards. Nearly played on, he's bowled. Yes, he's out. He played that on from outside the off stump. Ross Edwards out for 115, bowled by Arnold. And Australia, 6 wickets for 416.
Really great round of applause from this very big crowd. I'd say something in excess of 20,000 here already.
Arnold again to bowl his 25th over. Batsman is Marsh. Lofted this over the top of Gregg at mid-on. That's going through to the boundary. 4 runs. There's a slip, a cover, extra cover, very deep mid-off, deep mid-on, mid-wicket, a fine leg, 2 men on the boundary on the onside. Marsh hammers this away, and he's caught. No, he's dropped. Dropped by Arnold, fielding a deep mid-on. An escape for Marsh.
And the first bowler we're going to see is Old from this, the southern end. The breeze now a southwester behind him. And that's, he's dropped. He's got both hands to it, Fletcher. Going down to Underwood, it was, must be considered a chance. And Fletcher now not having a particularly happy time for England in slip. He's dropped a couple. Now from the far end, we're going to see the off-spinner Titmus. Of course, their leg spinners to the left-handed Marsh, and he's bowling around the wicket. And in the air, he could be caught, going down to mid-off, and he's out. Down there to Lloyd, a full toss. Marsh caught Lloyd, bowled Titmus for 41. Walker not out 10, 7 for 449. And a run there, it's wide of the mid-on Arnold. Good shot from Lilly, they've taken one. That could be three here, they've taken two, and they're coming back for three. Old is bowling to Lilly. And he's bowled him. Lilly bowled by Old for 11, Walker not out 12. And is he out? Yes, he's caught behind. Mallet caught not, bowled Old, no score. That's the first outright failure for Australia. Walker is not out 12, 9 for 462. And a likely looking shot. That could be four from Thompson. It's beaten Greg. He's chasing it. I don't think he'll make it. The ball's flying down though. Greg may just get to it. It's close. And Greg just got there. They've taken three. Long boundary there, one of the longest on the ground, and Greg with those long strides of his just catching the ball. Old to Walker. Chance and dropped again. One hand Fletcher, he got a hand to it, his right hand. They're coming back for a second. There's a chance for a run out this end. Thompson's slow, but he's right. Now that was a definite chance. A high one, Fletcher jumping high. And that's high over long on. It's almost a six. It's going towards the fence. It lobbed about 10 metres inside the fence. Colourful scene. Packed ground. Beautiful weather. And a chance. Beautiful drop. No, dropped. Not had it. Almost had it long enough to count as a catch. And this time he's gone. Yes, it's all over. Walker caught not, bowled Old for 19, Thompson not out 11, 23 sundries, Australia all out 481.
Not as many as Australia would have liked perhaps, and had England held their chances, their deficit would have been far less. Well, with Luckhurst injured, the question now was who would open the innings? Denness, Fletcher, Allen Knott perhaps, but astonishingly it was Cowdrey, only in this country a week and out of Test cricket 3 years, who was thrown in against Thompson and Lilly. David Lloyd now faces the first ball of the second innings from Dennis Lilly.
And that was off the top of the bat or the hand, and it fell short of Thompson. That was a fending shot from Lloyd. And again a lifting ball from Lilly. That had plenty of life.
Thompson took 2 for 45 in the first innings, bowling to Cowdrey, no wicket for no run. Ian Chappell at first slip, Greg Chappell at second, Walters at third, two gully fieldsmen, Redpath and Mallet, Edwards out at cover. That's Ross Edwards, Wally Edwards at short square leg, two leg slips, Walker and Lilly. Yes, he's caught, dropped by Redpath, diving across in front of Walters. Redpath diving from the gully. And the first run's off the bat. In the England innings, the ball chased by Wally Edwards out to mid-wicket. Lilly bowling to Cowdrey. No wicket for 2. He's off the mark, out through point, being chased by Mallet, and Cowdrey will get only a single. As I said before, a crowd of about 25,000, Lilly to Lloyd. Lloyd playing at that ball, not getting a touch, through to Marsh. Up in the air, over the top of the slips, and Chappell racing back for it. It might beat him into the fence for 4. They've run 1, and Chappell fields, and Cowdrey will get 2. Walker comes in again. Good shot, out through, just backward of point, being chased by Ross Edwards. They run 1. Edwards will get to the ball. Cowdrey has a chance to take a 3rd run, and he does so. And a good return from Ross Edwards back into the wind. Lloyd pulling it through mid-wicket, a long run for Jenner, but that will beat him easily to the line for 4. Chasing that one, playing it wide of Redpath at short gully, and that's 4 to Cowdrey, his 2nd boundary.
This is Jeff Thompson continuing, and he'll be bowling to Cowdrey. And Cowdrey's hit that on high on the body, I should think. It looks like he's hit on the chest or on about the collarbone. 1-4 has been hit since the resumption of play after tea. Thompson bowling to Cowdrey. And steered down, that could be the 2nd 4, wide of the finer of the 2 gullies, Redpath. A good shot from Cowdrey. Now Thompson, with the wind blowing behind him, bowls to Cowdrey. And that time it's between keeper and first slip for 4. Well, that must always be regarded as a chance. To Walker. And the misfield there, they're going to take 1. Let's see if they attempt a 2nd. Cowdrey has to come back. Yes, Cowdrey's going for it. And that's the 50 up for England. Lloyd 16, Cowdrey 33, 2 sundries, none for 51. That's England's first 50 partnership in this series. Thompson to Lloyd. And hit badly there that time. It was a nasty one.
Yes, indeed. Lloyd's in a fair amount of pain. Cowdrey signals for a glass of water. Here's the event again with Lloyd being hit there, right in the groin, as you can see, moving back into line with the ball and finding the ball move into him a little bit off the seam, and he crumples to the floor in obvious pain. And there he is now, just retiring into the dressing room as Mike Denness takes guard. Yes, we saw in the first innings that Denness had dropped down the order below Gregg, and now here he is, of course, made to do so by necessity, coming in at virtually number 3.
Denness is an experienced opening batsman, opened for many years for Kent with the Luckhurst, and he's facing Thompson. And run straight away. He might get 1 here at least. They're not thinking about 2, so Denness 1, Cowdrey 33. England at no wicket for 53. Lloyd retired her at 17. And he could be, now he was hit and Cowdrey has hurt too. That he's not well at all. Ball went up in the air, but it fell safe. And right behind the next ball. Well done, Cowdrey. Well played by Cowdrey. Good shot. We'll get at least 2 here. The ball's going out towards the boundary. Lily's after it. Might be 4. It's very close, and it's 4. Cowdrey to 37. Deness 1. None for 57. And a appeal for caught behind. Not out. Cowdrey facing Thompson. And appeal again, and he's out this time. Cowdrey, leg before to Thompson for 41. Deness is not out 1. England 1 for 62.
Now the game continues with Thompson moving into the new batsman, Gregg. Full toss, played out just wide of Wally Edwards, out through square leg. They've run 1. Gregg is off the mark, and he gets 2 runs with his opening stroke. Through between 4th slip and gully for 4. Still Lilly bowling to Gregg. It's 1 for 78. Oh, he's lofted this over backward point and straight through to the boundary for another 4. Let's see what Gregg does this time facing Lilly. Beaten by that ball just outside the edge of the bat. Lilly being urged on by the crowd, bowling to Gregg. Good shot, straight through mid-off, straight through for 4. Redpath is chasing from cover, but the ball beating him by some 25 metres. Short, edge, just wide of Malakoff Gully, and that's 4 runs. Gregg is 27, that's 100 on the board for England. They're 1 for 101.
The 4th day of the second test match in Perth began with England 102 for 1 and needing every little bit of determination and courage they possessed to save this match. And, more important, to avoid humiliation. I suppose the thing they really needed was the ability to get behind the line of the ball, and that was something they hadn't done in the earlier games. We join play with the first ball of the day. It's Jeff Thompson bowling to Tony Gregg.
And Gregg off the mark. Edwards can't save it at point. Beautiful square cut by Gregg. Chasing it around the boundary is Redpath, but he couldn't save it, and it's across the line for 4 off the first ball of the day, which takes the score up to 1 for 106. That's Walker down at the fine leg as Thompson bowls to Gregg. Up, and he's caught by Greg Chappell at second slip. Gregg is out. England are 2 for 106. Gregg caught Greg Chappell off the bowling of Thompson for 32, and Thompson has 2 for 42. Lilly for the first time in the match from the grandstand end, moving into Deness on 13. Snick, but landing in front of third slip. Greg Chappell, the fieldsman. They've gone through for a single. That ball landed in front of Walters at third slip on the left-hand side. England are 2 for 109. Deness 14. Lloyd 18. Drive by Deness through extra cover. A chase for Ross Edwards. Deness will get at least 2 runs here. Looking for the third, and he'll beat Edwards' return. 3 runs to Deness, and a good throw by Ross Edwards, who was a star in the field in the first innings and again on the third day in the early part of the second innings of England. Nice drive, but it's gone up the top edge, over the top of the slips, and that's 4. Flew high over the top of Walker. Lloyd trying to drive that ball, I feel, out through cover. Gets a 4, takes him up to 25, and the total 2 for 122. Edge, and he's caught by Redpath at fourth slip. Dennis is out. Dennis caught Redpath off the bowling of Thompson for 20. England are 3 for 124. And Thompson, who's having a remarkable series, has taken 3 for 46. Well, Fletcher to face Thompson. Beats him, appeal for a catch. Is he out? Yes, he's out. And Thompson's on a hat-trick. Fletcher is out for a duck. Caught Marsh off the bowling of Thompson. Thompson on a hat-trick. And England 4 for 124. Thompson on a hat-trick, bowling to Knott. Beats him, but that was inside the bat, between bat and pad. A good ball from Thompson. The question now is, Peter, whether Luckhurst will be required to bat if any further wickets fall.
Yes, well, of course, this is the last thing in the world that England wanted to happen, both in the point of view of losing wickets, but also getting Luckhurst into the firing line so early. But he will bat, but who knows when.
Nasty ball to Knott. That passed through shoulder high, very nearly struck Knott.
That was a nasty delivery.
4 for 128. Over the top of third slip, Walters diving up into the air, but no hope of reaching the ball. Into the fence for 4. Yeah, there's just wide of Redpath. That'll be another 4 to Knott. He's being chased by Walters from third slip, but he won't reach it. Over the top of Gully, slashing away, Mallet chasing, but it'll beat him across the line. That'll be 4 to Lloyd.
I think 3 or 4 overs a spell is quite enough in this heat. It's tremendously hot out there.
Very short, chased by Knott, glided over the top of the gully. Another 4 to Knott. He's hit 3 boundaries now down to that part of the field at the grandstand end. Redpath down at third man now. Trying to york him, driven out through extra cover. A good shot. Ross Edwards sprinting after it. The ball will pull up just inside the boundary. Knott has run 2, coming back for 3. And 3 for the shot. And for once, a little bit of a loose return from Ross Edwards, although he wasn't really trying to ping that one back to the keeper. He saw there was no chance of a 4th run. The 150 is on the board. England 4 for 152. They trail by 121. Lilly bowling to Knott. He's caught Greg Chappell at second slip. Knott is out. The last ball of Lilly's 5th over of the day. Knott out for 18, caught by Greg Chappell of Lilly. It is 5 for 154. The not-out batsman is Lloyd on 35. The incoming batsman for England is, in fact, Luckhurst. Luckhurst coming out to the crease.
It could even be hotter now than the 35 it was a few minutes ago. And he's caught, is he? Yes, caught by Greg Chappell. Played it straight to him. Lloyd caught Greg Chappell, bowled Walker for 35. Luckhurst not out 2. England 6 for 156. And it hit right over the head of the mid-on, down to the boundary. And that's over the fence or hitting the fence on the first bounce. Well, a surprising shot by Titmus, but completely justified, I suppose. There was no one out there. And Titmus played it well, coming down towards the boundary. A long chase for Walters. I think the ball's going to reach the fence easily. Yes, that was very well timed by Titmus. That was a deliberate shot, and he just steered it wide of the slip fieldsman down to the fence for 4, and Titmus has hit 2 4s in this over. He goes on to 12. Luckhurst is 10, 6 for 179. A hit there over the head of Greg Chappell. That's a good shot from Titmus. That's over the line down there on the first bounce, straight over the top of extra cover. And Titmus getting some applause for some bold batting. He's on to 16.
cut, wider fourth slip, Redpath, down to the fence for 4. Four more runs to Titmus at 6 for 210. Cut by Luckhurst, a chance to Mallet in the gully. It's come down to third man now. Run 1, coming back for the second. The ball being retrieved by Redpath. Chance to Mallet at gully. Luckhurst moving up to 20.
A nice looking drive from Luckhurst. That's one of the few he's played today. They've taken 2. Redpath fielding just inside the boundary line. They're thinking about 3. They're not going. A bit of indecision there between the 2. Possibly a third run there, but they're not taking it. Luckhurst 23, Titmus 34, 6 for 216. And a good shot from Titmus. He'll get a couple here. They've got 1 coming back for 2. Wally Edwards is after it. He'll get it just inside the line, and they're going back for an easy 3. Now, it appears that Billy is going to go over the wicket this time to Luckhurst. And it's catch, and he's caught, yes. Mallet's taken the catch at gully, so Luckhurst caught Mallet, bowled Billy for 23. Titmus is not out, 37. England 7 for 219. Old is the new batsman. Walker to Old. And well played, back past the bowler. Beautifully timed that. That's going to be 4. With hardly any backlift at all, he slammed that back past the bowler. And the total, 232. 7 for 232. 41 the difference. He's hit that hard and high way over the top of the cover point. It's going out towards the boundary, and they'll take 2. The ball, of course, was a high hit. And that's a good shot from Old. That's going out towards the square boundary. Mallet will not get to it, and over the line it goes now for 4. Yeah, Titmus ready for Walker as he moves in. It's a full toss, but they'll get a single only. Perhaps now it's better time than that. It's going down towards the boundary, and they've taken 2. And they're coming back for a third. It's not going to be 4. And that's the 50 for Titmus. Titmus is 51. Well played, Freddie Titmus, who's 51 to equal the best score by any English player in this game. Not got 51 in the first innings. Old is 13, 7 for 246. And this time it's back over the bowler's head, no doubt about that. That's 4 all the way. Again over the head of the player, down to the boundary, and well hit by Old. Old to 23. Titmus 51, 7 for 256. And again, it's in the air, and it could be 6. Tremendous hit, it's right over the top. Mighty shot. No doubt in my mind, the umpire hasn't looked. Yes, it's 6.
Old playing it between third slip and gully, right down to the boundary. There's a fieldsman chasing it from point, and he won't reach it. That's 4 runs. Old lofts this out on the onside. Greg Chappell trying to reach it. It could be over the line for 6. It is. 6 to Old.
And how easily he hits the ball. There's no great power or swing in there. Beautiful timing.
Another one high in the air. Wally Edwards trying to make ground, and also from mid-wicket Thompson, and Thompson takes the catch. Wally Edwards was moving in from deep square leg, but Thompson beat into the ball easily, and Wally Edwards pulled out when he saw Thompson making ground, and Old is out for 43. Caught Thompson off the bowling of Mallett, and 8 wickets are down for 285. Mallett has taken his first wicket. Mallett 1 for 28. Redpath is moving in closer from long on to deep mid on. Another quicker ball through point, and that could be the highest score ever by Titmus against Australia. That's 4. He is 61. His previous highest score against Australia was 60. So this has been a wonderful performance by Freddie Titmus. 8 for 293. Arnold on 4, facing Thompson. Yes, he's caught by Gully. Mallett, a brilliant catch. Left-handed, a great catch by Mallett. Arnold out for 4. Caught Mallett off the bowling of Thompson, and 9 wickets are down for 293. And Thompson has taken his 5th wicket, 5 for 93. Titmus goes for lofts one. Greg Chappell getting under it. He takes the catch, and Greg Chappell breaks the test record. He's taken his 7th catch in this test, and that is an all-time record. And England all out for 293, 20 runs in front of Australia. And this should now be, and will be, a formality for Australia to win the second test and go 2 up in the series.
Greg Chappell, one of the great fieldsmen the cricket world has seen. The 20 runs were just a formality, but England had 1 plus mark in the final moments. Jeff Arnold getting Wally Edwards LBW for 0. A very good delivery, that, and some consolation for Arnold, who has bowled quite well on this tour. Ian Redpath concluded proceedings for Australia by hooking Arnold to the square leg boundary, a fine stroke, and the crowd rushed on at the conclusion of the game. A great performance for Australia, and I'm afraid a great disaster for England. I haven't seen a more pathetic batting display from an England side for many years, and some of those